Minority governments in Canada don't tend to last very long. And thanks to the latest breakup in Canadian politics, we are about to see why.
Trudeau's Liberals can't deliver change.
I am not focused on politics. I'll let other parties focus on politics.
The cooperation agreement that effectively allowed the Liberals to govern as if they had a majority because they could count on NDP support, that's now gone. That means virtually every vote from now on could be an opportunity to bring down the government and trigger an election. But why pull the plug? Both parties seem to benefit from the arrangement. The Liberals avoided an early election, which, when the headlines are about plunging poll numbers, on autopilot headed for a car crash, how Trudeau lost his grip, this deal helped them survive. And the NDP managed to lean on the Liberals to secure big policy wins. Dental coverage, the beginnings of a pharmacare program. But gradually, and then perhaps very suddenly, things changed.
Today, I notified the Prime Minister that I've ripped up the supply and confidence agreement. Canadians are fighting a battle for the future of the middle class.
So let me explain why the NDP's leader just abandoned the Liberal government and why just about everybody agrees the cooperation deal itself was doomed to collapse, eventually.
We were very clear that we were able to get some important things done. Dental care, pharmacare. But it's also clear that Justin Trudeau and the Liberals were unwilling to stop big corporations from ripping off Canadians.
At the risk of stating the obvious, this was not a friendship where you have genuine alignment or shared long-term values or goals. This was transactional. From the NDP's point of view, we'll hold our noses and give you our votes in the House of Commons again and again, but in exchange, we pass laws that we care about.
By working in cooperative partnership with our Liberal colleagues, New Democrats have helped secure dental care for 9 million Canadians.
This dental plan being hailed as a win by the NDP, who have made it part of their confidence and supply deal with the Liberals.
Many of these things are actually itemized in the supply and confidence agreement itself. It's the first major point. The parties agreed to prioritize launching a new dental care program for low-income Canadians. Progress towards a universal national pharmacare program is the very next thing, and it goes on. Early learning and childcare, more sick days for certain workers, anti-scab protections, a housing accelerator fund. These were all priorities that the NDP wrote down, handed to the government, and said, let's work on these. And they did.
Well, from a policy perspective, I think the NDP can look at this and say this was pretty successful because it gave them an unprecedented input into the government's agenda and really helped them shape the last 3 federal budgets.
Every policy I've mentioned has either been passed into law or is in some stage of development. But once the to-do list gets smaller and smaller,
my sense is the NDP had a take stock at the end of June and realized that everything they really wanted to accomplish, they had done.
Which all sounds very productive if you're the NDP, except it wasn't entirely.
The NDP, while it was a member of the supply and confidence agreement with the Liberals, I'm not sure if a lot of Canadians were perceiving the two parties as being involved, which is maybe one of the reasons that the NDP wanted to get out of it.
If one side of politics is about getting things done, the other side is about being seen to get things done, getting credit for all your hard work. And if you ask a Liberal, they'll tell you as much.
This is really about setting up a runway to distinguish and differentiate themselves from the Liberals, because the Liberals are the ones who are getting credit for pharmacare and dental care and school programs.
Except, to add a small distinction to that, look at what polls show us from the last 2 to 3 years. So this is an aggregate, looking at data from Angus Reid, Nanos, Leger, Ecos, Abacus. Blue are the Conservatives, red are the Liberals, and orange the NDP. So around here, this is March 2022, the Liberals and the NDP strike their supply and confidence deal. But in all this time since, neither the Liberals nor the NDP seem to be benefiting at all from their partnership. And in fact, last summer, when the Liberals really begin to crater in the polls, you would expect to see the NDP claim some of that support. But their numbers have been flat for years, and it's the Conservatives who've benefited.
This was a strategic romantic breakup. Why was it time to break up? Well, because somebody else wanted to start playing the field. He wants to get out from under the albatross that at least public opinion polling says is Mr. Trudeau and how people dislike him. He wants to put himself back on the market, and you can't blame him for that.
They're probably hearing that as they go out in the summer and speak with constituents, and they're hearing constituents saying, we're tired of this government, and you seem to be holding it together. You're with them. You're in bed with them, and that just is a kind of a growing refrain that has really got their attention.
From the Conservative side of things, Pierre Poilievre has argued very intentionally that the NDP and the Liberals are one and the same. That because of their partnership, you can't trust either of them.
For the last 2 years, Sellout Singh has signed on to a coalition, a costly coalition, to keep Trudeau in power.
And this does tie into one last set of reasons why the NDP may finally have decided to pull the plug on this agreement. Reasons which have everything to do with very immediate threats. So last week, Pierre Poilievre combined two digs in one. He called the NDP leader Sellout Singh once again, but also called him out for his support of the Liberal government.
My message to Sellout Singh is this: put the people ahead of your pension. Break the costly coalition with Trudeau to trigger a carbon tax election.
So this is Poilievre goading Singh into breaking his deal with Trudeau before he had actually broken it. Then, take a look at this, a headline from the Beaverton. Jagmeet Singh asserts independence by doing exactly what Pierre Poilievre told him to. Now, the Beaverton is satire. It's a joke, but it makes a point about the barrage of attacks the NDP would expect to face relentlessly.
It goes back to this challenge that the NDP has, that when they try to criticize the Liberals, they are immediately reminded of the fact that they have the supply and confidence agreement. They are supporting the agenda. They are keeping this minority Liberal government in power. When they try to criticize the Conservatives just respond and say, well, you're no different than the government.
And recently, Jagmeet Singh came face to face with another very visceral reason to want to tear the agreement up.
We begin today with that ongoing rail dispute, a work stoppage that has massive implications for the Canadian economy.
It's more than $1 billion a day moving along this rail network.
We're not going to accept any interference, whether that's forcing arbitration, whether that's forcing back to work. None of that is allowed on our watch.
Except, you may recall, that's exactly what the Liberals did. They sent union members back to work and imposed binding arbitration. This was a red line for the NDP.
It seems like part of the trigger for the beginning of this conversation certainly was the rail labor dispute.
And if it didn't push them into this decision to back away from their deal with the Liberals, it certainly gave them a compelling off-ramp, and time would have been of the essence, because later this month, there are two key by-elections taking place across the country, and one of them in Manitoba is an NDP seat that they're afraid they may lose to the Conservatives.
At the door, there is a lot of pushback on this arrangement and this relationship. Yeah. So if you're going to pull the trigger and you were planning to do it in the fall, you may as well do it now before you potentially lose a seat to the Conservatives who you don't want to lose a seat.
If you look at what Jagmeet Singh did when he ended this governing relationship with Justin Trudeau, he immediately pivoted and took aim at the Conservatives and tried to define the next election as a battle between the cuts of the Conservatives and the hope offered by the NDP. If he now loses an NDP seat to the Conservatives, how can he credibly claim that he's the alternative, that he is the other choice?
It's hard to know if any one reason to rip up the supply and confidence agreement eclipsed any other, but there were at least these 5 considerations: salvaging upcoming by-elections, saving face, staving off Conservative attacks, sagging poll numbers, and the policy to-do list was perhaps wrapping up anyway, reaching its natural conclusion. The big question mark that remains, however, is how the NDP plays its hand from here. Because breaking the agreement is one thing. Actually voting against the government and triggering an election is another. And there's no indication that anybody but the Conservatives are ready or willing to do battle just yet.